Hello, welcome to Hank's Maker Mentor. With the Cricut Maker and the Explore series, including the Explore Air 2, you can do print and cut projects by using your home printer to print out designs and then putting them in the Cricut to have the Cricut cut out the sections you want. But what if your Cricut isn't cutting exactly where it should be, if you're getting too much of the white edge, even after troubleshooting the other things? One thing you can do to try to help make sure your print and cut projects go as smoothly as possible is to calibrate your print and cut. I'm going to walk you through how to do that. So here in Design Space, you'll go ahead and you'll click on this menu button right here. And right now I am set up on my Explore machine. This will also apply the same way with the Cricut Maker, and you'll go into calibration. For the Explorer, you just have the print and cut calibration. So you'll go ahead and click on print and cut, and it'll tell you to print your calibration sheet. So you select a printer, you load the printer paper, and then you print. And then it lets you know to place the sheet on the mat in the top left corner, and then you'll click continue. Since we are doing this on regular printer paper, you do want to make sure you're using a light grip mat, and you'll do it the same way you do for a regular print and cut. You'll want to try and line it up as best you can in that top left corner, and go ahead and lay it down. It'll ask me to select my Cricut device. So it found it with Bluetooth. If it's not already set, you want to have it on, they say smart set here. It's custom on my dial. And then you'll go ahead and load your machine. And then after you load it, you're gonna press go. So it's gonna go through, scan to make sure, and then it's ready to do the test cut. Here on the screen, it'll say, without unloading the mat, examine the cut lines around the small square in the middle. And you need to check if the cut line touched the printed line all the way around. It looks like it did go all the way around. I'm not super happy with it because it looks very, very questionable on the top and the bottom. I'm going to select no. And then it says, let's try to get the cut closer to the printed line. Then we can fine tune the calibration. Select continue to perform the cuts. And it's going to cut back and forth doing the numbered ones across the very top. It'll do the alphabetized ones that go horizontal. Once it's done cutting, it will show up back on your screen saying, without unloading the mat, examine the lines on the top and right of the calibration sheet. Which cuts landed closest to the center? And then you've got a drop down box for the top and on the right. So we're going to take a look.
So you can see over here that these ones are way off. They do get better and then they do get worse again. But we want to take a look and see what one was the very best. 13 is a little to the right. 11 is too far to the left. 12 is going straight down. So we want 12 for the one at the top. Let's take a look at the ones to the right that are the letters. And same thing, they start off way further apart, and in the center they are the closer ones. L is the best one.
So in the drop down for the top, I'm going to select 12. And on the right, I'm going to select L. And then I'm going to click continue. And it tells me I need to unload my mat. Now that the calibration cuts have been completed, we need to reprint and retest the machine. It'll ask to check the printer again, and we'll go ahead and click reprint. With the old calibration sheet off, we're going to set the new one on, and just the exact same way as before. It already knows which machine and is telling us to load the mat. And then we're gonna go ahead and click go. It's finished cutting. Design Space tells us again without unloading the mat that we need to examine the cut lines around the small square in the middle.
That looks a lot better. I can clearly see that there is ink on both sides of all four lines. Previously, the bottom one had a bunch of black ink left over and the top didn't have any. I'm much happier with this cut.
We're gonna go ahead and let it know that the cut line touches the printed line all the way around by saying yes. It says we're getting close. Let's fine tune the calibration so your cuts are perfect. Select continue to perform the cut. It does the same thing it did the first time of doing the lines along the numerical ones and then on the alphabetical ones to see which one gets the closest. On the screen, it asks us once again which ones landed closest.
On this one, the cuts start much closer. So the one is still very close to this line. The first one, it was much further away to help them get a rough idea, and now we are able to fine tune it. And it looks like 11 is the best one on this one. And we'll do the same thing with the letters. K and L. K's a little bit better. We will go ahead and insert 11K.
And it's going to do a confirmation cut. And when you look, you can see it's still not quite perfect. This side over here definitely has more ink left than this one. This one, there is a tiny bit of ink the entire way across. I know it's really hard to see, but there is some there, which would mean that as long as I have bleed turned on when I cut, it won't cause a problem of leaving a white edge around my design. So overall, I am happy with how it turned out. Now you've seen how to calibrate the print and cut settings on the desktop. You can do it on iOS as well. It is not available for Android at this time. If you'd like to see how to calibrate the rotary blade and the knife blade for the Cricut Maker, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon so you're notified when I release those videos as well as the other new videos I release weekly. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, bye.